big day is inching ever closer. Canada's second ever Arena International Friendly against Brazil, March 15th. Stick around for more details. Welcome to Inside the APL. Hey folks, I'm Alex Bastiavansky, and yes, the excitement is building towards the big game. National team GM Phil Ionati will join me for an interview shortly as he discusses preparations for the friendly. But first, training has been underway for some time now as the squad rounds into form. Lots of new faces vying for a spot on the roster, and one Canadian soccer legend who's preparing to make his national arena team debut. Here's more. By any measure, Canada's first ever Arena International Friendly against Mexico back in October was a huge success. The atmosphere was electric. The team was competitive, and over 4,000 screaming fans certainly got their money's worth. Training is well underway for Canada's next game against Brazil at the Hershey Centre on March 15th.
Well, the team looks very good. The boys are trying to get a better understanding of the game. One of the challenging parts, obviously, is experience. We talked about that, but each game that comes along, the more experience they get, the better the game will become for them and more understanding. So you need to understand the defensive responsibilities, how important it is to get up and down in the game and understand the patterns of play. 2 guys wide, 2 defenders, 1 guy has to be in the middle. There has to be that outlet. Somebody's okay? There has to be a show. If it's not on, he spins off and then somebody can come in.
Yeah, it's a different kind of game altogether in comparison with the outdoor game due to the dimensions of the field. But yeah, ultimately it's a quicker paced game, quicker rotations on and off the field, and yeah, it's transitioning from forward to defense. It's tricky, but it's at the same time it's very entertaining.
The APL should feature several players on the squad, showing just how valuable the league has become over a short period of time, especially when it comes to familiarizing Canadian players with the nuances of the arena game.
Yeah, I think it's helping everyone. It's kind of giving us that feeling from the arena soccer that some people are not used to here. And yeah, preparing every weekend, there's tough games. Each team tries to practice on their own, so it's a very nice competition to have here.
Since the launch of the APL, I think we've brought in a lot of new talent to the team, and we're starting to learn the game better. So, with all the staff on board, I think we're getting prepared, and I think we're going to do really well this time around.
Yeah, the structure of the whole pyramid of play of having the youth system and then the APL. The APL, we really want to put our focus on that as part of the development system and seeing the players week in, week out. Them understanding the game and competition level is pretty high.
As if the magical Brazilian footballers aren't a big enough draw on their own, the March 15 game will feature the return of a Canadian soccer legend. Dwayne De Rosario comes out of retirement to make his arena soccer debut and has been training with the squad over the past few weeks.
But it's fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying getting back playing, and these guys are really working with me to help me to understand the game a lot more. The angles is very important in arena game, knowing the angles. So that's all I'm really trying to work on right now, understanding more and more about the game. Yeah, I play with Adrian Can with the national team. So getting back, he's been teaching me a lot about the game and the angles, and some of these guys I played with back in the days.
Amazing player on and off the field. So playing alongside him once again is always a pleasure.
And I think it's going to be a great opportunity for all the youth players that never saw him play to come out on March 15th and see the legend that we believe in lead our country.
Don't stop running off the ball, guys.
Go, lots of time, man. Just be patient with the ball.
We have time, guys.
Yeah.
This is
You
zone
gotta
defense.
use your left.
Yeah.
In order to use your left, you can't be on the ball. It's gotta be somebody else laying it off to you. You know what I'm saying?
Because if you want a left footer there, the guy in the ball could be a right or a left, I don't care, but it should be a left on that side and a right on that side.
It's always nice to play. It's the world's game, and it's nice to meet new players and guys that have been involved in this game and helped them grow in this game for many years. So it's fun. I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to the 15th.
folks, welcome back to Inside the APL, and I am very pleased I snagged a very, very busy man for the next segment who's got a lot on his plate over the next couple of weeks. National Arena Team General Manager Phil Iannitti joining me now via Skype. Phil, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, Alex. Good to see you.
So as we saw from the last segment there and the story we did, you guys are extremely busy right now, training well underway. Maybe just take us through how things are going with the training right now.
Well, the boys are doing well. We're fortunate that we're training at a facility where it's a full-size field and we're getting a good understanding of the boards. I think one of the things that the players need to really understand is how to utilize the boards. That comes with experience and time. And, the past couple of training sessions, they're getting a better understanding, and that's only going to help us. So the more games we get under our belt, the better prepared we'll be for the upcoming games.
Of course, big news for the big March 15th game against Brazil is the man who is learning the arena game right now and making his national team debut for arena soccer is Mr. Dwayne De Rosario, D-Ro. And I know you're pleased to have him on board. How's D-Ro doing so far? How's he adapting to the game?
Well, you know what? When he got the itch to play it, from the last game he watched Mexico and then us announcing Brazil, he's prepared himself. He's a true professional. He's ready. His fitness level is where it needs to be. Where again, it's a different type of game compared to aerobic and anaerobic, where it's quick little sprints, 1 minute, 2 minute shifts. But he's connecting with the players. There's a couple guys already he has some really good synergies with, some great movement off the ball, understanding where to be, where not to be, and we're really excited. We all want to see that signature dance, the shake and bake, So hopefully it's he only does it, not once but multiple times. But we're all excited. I think the energy is high. The people, the children that are going to come out and see him for the first time. It's history. It's history, and it's making Alex, and we're excited to have him. And for me, still one of the best players ever to play in Canada. Yeah, something that did make it into the story we did in the last segment, but that you and I did talk about at the training session last week, was the fact that there could be a possible conflict with the MASL playoffs. Several Canadian national team players playing in that league, especially with the Milwaukee Wave, who could still be playing. So the possibility exists that other guys may have to step in for the role of some guys who played previously in the first game against Mexico back in the fall. Yeah, we have 8 to 10 players that are playing the MASL currently. 3 of them have already committed to play with us for the March 15th game that they were eliminated from the playoffs, which was Freddie Mugin, Vahid Asapor, and Marco Rodriguez. So it's good that we have those 3 guys on board. Obviously, having the experience says volumes. Other players that are in the Milwaukee Wave, the upcoming game, potentially not with them. Obviously, the goalie, Josh Lemos, who was a catalyst for any team, whether it be Milwaukee or Canada. Coach Oliviero is there, and they play Cedar Rapids on this coming weekend. If they get through, they're probably going to play Baltimore most likely, who's playing against Syracuse. And, we're going to be out without Ian Bennett and Diane Shamali and another one, Ronald, who was injured. He's not available till hopefully October when we're preparing for our Mexico World Cup. Yeah, but what that means, of course, is that's exciting stuff for some other players. And several guys from APL teams were there at the training camp last week. I know a couple of guys that really caught your eye. From that have been, the leading scorer in the APL this year, who's just been ripping the opposition to shreds, Jarek Whiteman, as well as Luis Roca from Croatia. Yeah, Jarek's having a fantastic season. Knew the player when he was playing back in the day with Carmen Asako in SC Toronto days. So he had the talent back then, he had the speed, and now he just transitioned wonderfully into the arena game. His ability to beat players and finish is second to none. So another player, Luis Roca, wonderful, a national team player for futsal as well. Technical abilities, unbelievable, reads the game very quickly. He's one of the players that actually works well with Dwayne. Why? Just they're one step ahead, the way they think, the way they do things. So we're really excited that players are going to get a chance to play. This is what it's all about. It's identifying talent, new players, and now next time give them that chance to play. Phil, just under a minute left. The first game, as mentioned, happened back in October against Mexico. What a fantastic atmosphere it was. The next game coming up March 15th against Brazil during March break. When you helped set up CASA and the APL and the YAPL and the pyramid of play, I mean, in your wildest dreams, is this what you envisioned? Is this how you saw things developing, and how satisfied are you? you know what, Alex said, this is exactly how it is because this is how it's done all around the world. You know, look at the federations all around the world. They have the youth system that feeds the semi-pro and, you know, and the pro teams and then into the national program. So we're really excited that, you know, we're here to build this game. It's another opportunity for kids to play soccer, which is very important. And, you know, in our country, this game will grow. Why? Because there's arenas everywhere. There's other people out there who see what we're doing, what we're achieving in such a short period of time. And we're really excited. You know, the Mexico game, we were 4,000 people. This game, we expect a sold-out crowd. We're already 70% there. So 1 week left. We're looking to have a wonderful game and see everyone out there and hopefully, again, see some shaking and baking.
Fantastic, and we're looking forward to seeing D-Row and all the boys do it. Phil, you're a busy guy. We're going to let you go. Good luck, and we'll see you on the 15th, buddy.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, more Inside the APL coming up in just a moment. Hey folks, welcome back to Inside the APL. We've talked a ton about the vaunted offense of the Caribbean Stars. The squad is racking up goals at a stunning rate, and the man leading them is Jarek Whiteman, who's absolutely shredding the APL at the moment and leading the league scoring race. He was running wild once again against Ukraine in Week 10. For a while, Ukraine did a good job of keeping the Stars in check. Late in the first quarter, Ukraine trailing 1-0 actually, keeper mishap. Ivan Solansky taking full advantage, and they were all tied up 1-1. Second quarter, Arthur Berlin steals. He lays it off for Stanislav Katana, and possible upset was brewing. 2-1 Ukraine. The lead didn't last long. The aforementioned Jarek Whiteman starts with his first of many on the day, ties it up at 2s. Second half now, something you don't see every day. Ukraine keeper Ihor Vitev with the goal, and his teammates were absolutely loving it. They were pumped. Ukrainians go up 3-2. That's when the Stars really cranked up the offense, though. Leading 4-3, Tristan Gale beats Vitev to make it 5-3. Then Kachov Mikita pulls the Yellows back to within 1 just 40 seconds later right there. However, Vitev misfires on the clearing attempt here. Bad guy to give it up to. Whiteman makes him pay 6-4 Caribbean. And then one of the goals of the week, Chidiber Nolim. The gorgeous flick off the head that beats the keeper from well out. 7-4 Stars at that point. Late in the contest, tempers flaring. Paul Antoine and Stanislav Katana get tangled up. Katana didn't like the potty check, lets him know about it. Cooler heads did prevail, though, thankfully. The Stars added one more to make it 8-4. Jarek Whiteman had a huge day for them, and Coach Ricky Titus talked about his performance on the season so far.
I'll tell you what, Jarek is a great team leader. He's used to scoring a lot of goals because he was the top goal scorer in League One this past season. And he's always going to be a guy that's going to be at the top of the scoring chart because he knows his way around the net. He makes good movement off of the ball. He's got a nice first touch, and he finishes really well. He's got a great eye for the goal, and I would love to see him on the national team for Canada. It would be great.
Okay, Italy had won 2 straight heading into this tilt with first place Croatia. First half, Italia up 1-0. Matthew Rios knots it up at 1 apiece. Then 2 Canadian national team members hooking up. Luis Roca to Sean Brown. Reds up 2-1. They'd lead 3-1 when Jonathan Osario steals and slams it past Faris Efendic. 3-2. And then one of the plays of the week, Roca showing off the moves. Gorgeous. 4-3 Croats at the break. Second half, Croatia plays a bit of pinball here before Rios finally slams it home. 5-3. And they would stretch it to 6 before Italy has a brief comeback. Nice passing. Diego Gonzalez, the finish. But Roca ends all hope late in the contest. Catches Nicolas Fernat pinching, burns him, and the Croats end up pulling away. It finishes up 9-5. The score not representative of the play, though, as this one was tight right up until the end. Okay, the Serbs taking on the South Americans. This was a good one. Andre Carrera gets it started. 1-0 for the South Americans. Milko Medic at the other end, denied by Jamie Harrison. Dusan Kovacevic right there, though, knocks it home to even up at 1 apiece. Miroslav Jovanovic goes for a stroll. Everyone backs off, so he says, what the hell? Takes advantage. 2-1 Serbs. Then, an example of how the arena game can fool you. Look at the weird spin off the boards the ball takes there. Jovanovic ends up pouncing. 3-1 Serbia at halftime. South America, though, starts out strong in the second. National team member David Guzman tattoos the one-timer into the back of the net. It's now 3-2, and they say you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. Well, Hayden Clark, a bit of both here, as he banks the shot in off Zoran Pesic, and it's tied up at 3 apiece. South America would actually go up 4-3, but then Dusan Kovacevic evens it up in the late going, and it looked like it would end up as a tie. But with mere seconds remaining, Paul Yankovic with the dagger, the winner, and the big man, 6'7", shows off the gymnastic skills as he celebrates. 5-4 South America, the final. They were missing several key players for this game, but team captain David Guzman said it really all came down to one thing.
Yeah, you know what? Our coach kept stressing the fact that we have to find it in here. We have to dig deep, and the guys, you know, we got 5-6 new guys who stepped up today, being their first game in the Arena Premier League, and it was all heart today. You know, we got a 5-4 win over the Serbians, and I think it puts us in a good spot for the playoffs in the table. So we're glad that we got 3 points, and then looking forward to next week.
Rosario! De Rosario! A golden goal!
Hey folks, welcome back to Inside the APL. Well, Croatia AC continues to set the pace for the rest of the league. Through week 10, the only blemish on the record was a last-second 4-3 setback against the South Americans in early February. And since then, they've reeled off 4 straight wins. And that being said, Sunday's match was highly anticipated. The Caribbean boys have been red hot lately, and they tested the Croats' resolve with their high-flying offense. And this one lived up to the hype. Great game. The Croats draw first blood. Luis Roca to Matthew Rios. 1-0 with the tap in there. Sager Reed, a force in this game. He notches his first here to tie it up at 1 apiece. Sebastian Zaballos had a bit of an adventure on Sunday at times. Applies the UFC takedown there to prevent the sure goal. Penalty kick ensues. And Roca, as he does, makes it look easy. 2-1 for the Reds. Back and forth they went. Shaq Agar just charges through the middle, pounds it past Faris Efendic to tie it up again. And then Paul Antoine lays it back for former Tottenham Hotspur, Rohan Ricketts. And the Stars take their first lead. Zaballos, though, caught in no man's land once again. The Croats steal. Roca fires it in from midfield. Croatia up 5-4 at the break. Second half, Roca, once again, wrecking shop, sweet moves, plus the score, 6-5 at that point. We pick it up now with the Stars trailing 9-6. Jarek Whiteman to Ricketts, boom. And he makes it a 9-7 deficit. And then a sublime solo effort by Sager Reed along the boards. Gets past 2 defenders, plus the keeper. Nice to make it 9-8. But the Croats would add 1 more to put this baby to bed. 10-8 final, best game of the weekend. Can't wait for the rematch on April 22nd. Portugal try to make up ground on first place Croatia. Wasn't to be on this day. Serbs draw first blood. The big man, Mirko Medic. In it goes. 1-0 Serbs. Portuguese tie it up on an own goal. Jordi Strongis. It happens. 1-1. Dylan McAuliffe gives them their first lead soon after, jumping on the rebound. 2-1 for the Portuguese. Serbs hit back though. Dusan Kovacevic will roof the shot from in tight here to make it a 2-2 game at halftime. Second stanza. We pick it up late. Portugal trailing 5-4. Matthew Santos knots it up at 5 apiece, and it looked like it would remain a stalemate, but with just 10 seconds left, Jovanovic with the goal and the Incredible Hulk celebration afterwards as Serbia pulls out the 6-5 win. Ukraine taking on the South Americans. Quiet first half for the most part until Bogdan Olichkov breaks the ice going 5-hole, and 1-0 for Ukraine. Second half, possible goal of the week here. Ihor Vitiv to the acrobatic Stanislav Katana. That is sweet. 2-0 Ukraine at that point. You pick it up late now. Ukraine up 4-1. Cue the comeback. Edgar Bartholomew will make it 4-2. And then with a minute and a half left, Alan Kukalovich denied on the first chance, succeeds the second time around right there, setting up the dramatic finish with just seconds left. Everyone up. Kukalovich deflects home the Bartholomew shot. That tied it, and that is how it finished up. Great comeback for the South Americans. But the Ukrainians were pretty disappointed. They couldn't hold on for the 3 points on the day. They just could not shut the door. Remember, folks, head to the APL website for everything APL, aplsoccer.ca, stats, standings, scores, and all the game recaps as well. Lots of good stuff here. And this week's Team of the Week from the website, Adrian Bečić in goal, Luis Roka and Santo Rajkovic, both from Croatia. Rohan Rikic had an excellent week. Dusan Kovacevic from the Serbs, and Seja Reed from the Caribbean Stars. Way to go, guys. The standings, Croatia, as mentioned, continues to set the pace. 33 points, big lead over second place Portugal, who's got 20. The Caribbean boys in third, tied for fourth between Serbia and South America, 15 points apiece. The Italians with 2 wins and 6 in Ukraine. Still looking for the second win of the season so far. Top 5 for this week. Croatia's Luis Roka. He'll be playing for Canada on March 15th. That's why. Gorgeous shot. Seja Reed, number 4, taking on 2 Croatia defenders. Plus the keeper beats all of them. Sweet goal. Number 3, Ukraine's Ihor Vitiv, the keeper who can do it all, including score goals. Nice shot against the Caribbean Stars there. Number 2, the insane header by Chitiper Nolim from well out that surprises Vitiv. Dirty stuff. And number 1, Stanislav Katana playing contortionist for Ukraine. This one had them all on their feet. The fantastic one-timer in mid-air. One of the best goals of the year so far. That is sweet, and that is our APL play of the week. And we're all out of time for this week, but just remember, March 15th, Canada versus Brazil at the Hershey Center in Mississauga. To find out more about the big match and to keep up with everything regarding the APL, head to casasoccer.ca. Thank you so much for watching, folks. We'll see you next week.